Hey everybody, Blugoblin here from my comic book review for this week of March 2016. Hope everybody had a good Easter. I know I did. Hopefully my review of Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, hopefully my review of that movie will be up by now. Got a big stack of books, including not one, not two, but 3 shots of goodness from Gail Simone. There's some catching up to do in here, and got some indies, and the rest are from the big 2. So let's get started with Dark Horse. We're going to do the catch up here. With Dark Horse, we're starting off with Surviving Megalopolis, number 2. Actually, I also got issue 3. I'm going to review both of these at the same time. This is a double shot of goodness from Gail Simone and Mr. Calafiore. This has just been an amazing series. It's been amazingly well done, well written, really good. It doesn't. It's like to any of the people who are saying it feels like a superhero zombie movie parody. No, it doesn't feel like that. It really does feel like a Survivor horror-based, film. It's like, what would happen if you were in a town that was protected by superheroes? Something happened that, made their minds go kaput, and it made them all psychotic. It's like they're not zombies. They are homicidal maniacs, and these 2 issues did a fantastic job of picking up where the story had previously left off in Leaving Megalopolis, and then issue 1 of this series is just really, really well done, well executed, well written. The pacing is good, the plot is really solid, the artwork is fantastic. Southern Belle, that character just makes me go, woo! Ribbon, let me say this about Ribbon. If Ribbon was a real character, if he existed in real life, that shit would induce nightmares. Oh my god, if I saw this character could give a little kid could give a little kid nightmares. But fucking awesome stuff in here. Good backstory telling, good flashbacks, good. It's like I said, just good everything. And it's nice to know that one of the heroes isn't affected because he never had any powers. It's kind of like their take on, maybe Batman or Daredevil, the Crimson Shadow and everything. It's just really, really good. And like I said, Southern Belle, what a psychotic bitch. But solid reads. I enjoyed them. Gail, I love it. I love you. This is good stuff. I give both of these issues a solid 4. Alright, moving on to IDW. The best series of 2015 says Retcon Punch. We're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Number 56. Eastman and Waltz continue to kill it with the writing. And we got Senza Loco back on the artwork where he belongs. His artwork has just been nothing short of incredible. Not too much happens here in terms of action, but storytelling, this was really good. The artwork was fantastic. The Turtles are working with Donatello's friend Harold and Professor Honeycutt, the Fugitoid, to go to Burno Island, which has been completely terraformed, and the atmosphere is deadly, so they have to wear breathing devices. But they're going there to save innocent Udtroms, the beings that associated with Krang. But not every one of them are evil, but they're trying to save the last innocent ones. Meanwhile, Splinter still got his hands full leading the Foot Clan, and one of his now turned loyal students has been given a task that, I think it's more or less a test of her loyalty to Splinter. Otherwise, I don't think he would have asked her to do what he asked. I'm not going to ruin what he asks her to do, but I think it's ultimately a test of loyalty. Are you truly loyal to Master Splinter? But yeah, like I said, not too much happens in terms of action, but when the Turtles succeed, minor spoiler, they succeed in their mission in saving the Untrons, only for it to blow up in their faces by the end of the book. I loved the use of Leatherhead in here. I thought Leatherhead was a really well done character, but that ending, ooh, that ending has got me having multiple guesses in my head, but the overwhelming main guess I have in my head, I really hope I'm wrong. I really honestly hope I'm wrong with my main suspicion towards that ending. They can go any route with this, but judging by Professor Honeycutt, the Fugitoid's reaction, it's going to be shocking. Unfortunately, I have to stop it there because I don't want to ruin too much. That ending was surprising. This was good. Hardly any action, but that ending just hooked me in. I got to know what happened. Really good. I got to give it a 4. I have to be over generous with that one. Alright, moving on to Marvel. Angela, Queen of Hell, number 6. Marjorie Bennett, you're doing a great job with this. This is one of your strongest titles. I'm loving a lot of stuff that you're writing here right now. But there's just one major problem I'm having with this title. It's the pop culture references and the fourth wall. Now we're going into the fourth wall breaking. We're getting into Deadpool style storytelling with this book. It's not necessary. Now, if Deadpool were to make a guest appearance in one of these issues, then fine, you can get away with that. But you're talking about two lovers, one who literally went to hell to retrieve the woman she loves, and you're going to mix that with pop culture references and fourth wall breaking. It's like you're trying to take an Asgardian tale and turn it into a goddamn episode of Family Guy. It's just not necessary. You don't need to do... It's like, I feel like the Deadpool movie is starting to curse the Marvel books, because now I'm worried that because the Deadpool movie was so successful that Marvel's going to get it in their head that, oh, a lot of our books have got to have fourth wall breaking now. A lot of our books have got to have pop culture references and all that shit. No! Don't! Stop while you still can, Miss Bennett. I love your writing. You're a great writer. But enough with the pop cultures and the fourth wall breaking. I don't need it in this style of book. I don't. Especially when you got Angela going head to head with Thor. It cheapens the fight for me when I gotta scoff at badly done humor. It is what it is. It gets a 3. Next up, all new, all different Avengers number 7, I believe. Yeah, case number 7. This is a part of the Standoff storyline. I'm not reading Standoff. I looked at the checklist for Standoff. There's way too many titles on that list that I don't buy. So I'm not going to get involved with it. Anything from Standoff that I'm reading is probably going to be just probably this. I don't buy anything else. But I'm just going to judge it the way I see it. It's like, Mark Waid, great writer, and Hubert, great artist. It's just, I'm having trouble following the story since I don't want to follow it. I mean, you got something like this going on when you're just getting ready to get Civil War II up off the ground. And to see Avengers fighting Avengers, it's like, not this shit again. Even with Mark Waid on the writing, I found it really tough to follow this because I'm not following any other parts of this. But based on what I read, it's okay. I never thought I would say that about a Mark Waid book, but I'm just not following the story, and I don't really care to. One, I'll be glad once Standoff is over, and I can enjoy this book the way it should be enjoyed. I mean, this wasn't bad, but considering I'm not reading anything else involving Standoff, I just don't want to get invested in something that it's going to cost me too much money to get invested. I can barely afford the books that I'm getting on my pull as it is right now. Why would I want to add another stack of books just to read one fucking storyline that I really don't have any interest in? It's good to see Rogue, I'll say that, but for what it is, it was just, I never thought I would say that about a Mark Waid book, but it's just, I'll be nice and give it a 3. I loved the scene with Ms. Marvel and Vision. Other than that, Next up, Star Wars Obi-Wan and Anakin number 3, Charles Soule. Oh man, this is picking up really nicely. The first 2 issues I thought they were just okay, but here, this is actually getting pretty good. I never thought I would give a damn about Anakin Skywalker not being Darth Vader, but who knew? Charles Soule actually did a good job with this. You know, we're starting to see more and more of Anakin's resentment towards the Jedi Order because of his nagging impatience, you know, and his desire to be looked at, more respected by the Jedi Knights and everything. The scene with Anakin and Palpatine, that was just magnificent. That was easily my favorite part of the book, because you know what they're building there. You know what they're building towards and everything, and you see the seeds being planted as you're reading that dialogue, and it's just really good. It adds to the awesomeness that is Palpatine. The other stuff I thought was really good. Nice little swerve towards the end of the book. Nicely done. Of course, I'm not going to be biting my nails on whether or not Obi-Wan and Anakin are going to survive because, duh. But, yeah, it was good. This was really good. This was easily the strongest issue so far of this series. I mean, really good job. Charles Soule, you did really nicely. Yeah, I'll give it a 3.5 though. Moving on to Star Wars 17. Jason Aaron and Lynette Yu on the artwork. Nice. This is the next part of the storyline where we see Dr. Aphra, Darth Vader's little cohort, still in that hidden prison near the sun and everything. Meanwhile, you still got the stuff with Luke and Han, and it's getting more on the comedic side, but it's still a race for survival and all that stuff. That stuff is good, but the main selling point is the stuff with Leia and Dr. Aphra and Han's wife, what the fuck ever. That's the main selling point of this issue, and it's done very well. The writing is great. The artwork is fantastic. And there's a moment in here that just made me go, oh, shit. Because there's a psychopath who works for the Empire who's taken over the prison. And it sucks that everything is automated and controlled, and he has control over everything. And he gives Leia like an ultimatum. He literally puts Leia in a kill or be killed situation, and she finds a way to survive without having to kill, only for it to quite literally blow up in her face. And it's just, you just feel for Leia. It's like she's trying to be heroic, she's trying to be noble, and it just goes right in front of her, and you just want to go, God damn it, it's just one of those things, and it's just really, really good. And it ultimately leads up to that cliffhanger of Leia having to do something that I know for a fact she's going to regret, and is just really good. A solid issue, solid read. This was amazing. Really good. An easy 4. Alright, we're ending Marvel with Uncanny X-Men number 5. God bless my patience with this title. Just all that fucking atrocious artwork from the Tracer. It's just more the same shit with him. It's just a smile. Even when you're in the middle of a fucking battle, you're smiling. Like, just the incessant smiling. The writing is getting better. I like the fact that they have touched on the fact that Magneto's mind can't be penetrated when he's wearing that helmet. And, when he's wearing that helmet, you can't read his mind unless he gives you permission. I like that they snuck in and shoehorned in that little loophole. I still think that nothing, even when he gives permission, once he wears that helmet, you can't get in there no matter how hard you try. Not even fucking Xavier could get in that mind with that helmet on. So Betsy being able to get in, even with Eric's permission, that's still hokey and that's still bullshit to me. But yeah, Magneto has a big moment in here. It's kind of like, don't fuck with me. It's done very well. I just can't get past the awful artwork and the plot holes from earlier on in this particular run. This issue was good for what it was. The cliffhanger, the ending of the issue was kind of but I thought it was okay. This issue was pretty good for what it was. Above average, but far from perfect. I'll give it a 3. Alright, we're moving on to DC, starting with Batman number 50. Holy Christ. Another test of my patience here. This book cost me $6. And okay, this is the big 50th issue. We're finally wrapping up this storyline with Mr. Bloom, who, Mr. Bloom, I gotta call it like I see it, this character, this villain, just didn't hardly do anything for me. I mean, he looked really hokey. I mean, I get it, you're trying to build up a new villain to add to that legendary rogues gallery for Batman. I get it. I understand it. It's like, sometimes you don't always want to rely on the same old names and the same old characters, the same old stories. You want to change things up. You want to try some new things. And, sometimes in any business, you got to take a risk. And they took a risk with Mr. Bloom. And unfortunately for me, it didn't completely work because at the end of the day, I really don't give a good goddamn about Mr. Bloom. But the main selling point of this issue was Bruce is back in the cowl. He is Batman again. And yes, Jim Gordon did survive his throat hole attack from Mr. Bloom, which I just find his survival based on solely plot convenience, because they said that it punctured his spleen and he'll be dead in an hour, but he does a lot of shit with this internal injury that just seems really kind of, Batman whooping everybody's ass, and Alfred suggesting that when he healed his brain, it healed his body. He is now 100% pure and scar and bruise free. He is now stronger and faster than he has ever been before. Just more of the from DC to Batman. It's just, you just gotta jerk that bat dick. This book wasn't horrible. I mean, despite my ranting about them being in such a fucking hurry to get that cowl back on Bruce and get it off of Jim Gordon, it does feel right. It does feel right to see Bruce as Batman. It does. In all honesty, I just wish they would have waited a little bit longer. But considering that this series is fixing to get reset back to #1 with Rebirth, I guess they felt like they had to go ahead and do it now. But Jim Gordon, he wasn't a horrible Batman. I mean, I've seen worse people in that cowl. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm not even going to mention the motherfucker's name. It's just that it felt, Bruce's return to the cowl kind of felt rushed. And at the end of the day, this felt like a $6 love letter from DC to Batman. It really did. Even though Batman himself in this issue tries to give the spotlight to Jim Gordon and to the Gotham City Police Department, you know, for helping keep the city safe while he was away. You know, I thought that was a nice touch. I also couldn't help but notice that when Jim Gordon recovered in the hospital, he had some thinning hair here, he had a mohawk here, he had a mustache and some facial hair going. I jokingly said, motherfucker looks like me. but I was like, that. All joking aside, this was good. This was good, just not great, and I don't think this was worth $6. You could have gotten easily a $4.99 price tag on here, but because it's Batman, you got to charge a couple bucks more. It is what it is. I like Batman's new costume. He has a new look in here, like he needs another fucking new look. But it feels right to see Bruce in the cowl, even though I would like to have, I personally would like to have seen Jim Gordon get more of a chance as Batman. I give it a 3.5. I'm being generous with that. Moving on to Cyborg number 9. This series is getting really good. Walker Watanabe and Albert, everybody who's been working on this is getting really good. You know, Cyborg is basically being told, hey, you have unregistered tech on you. You now belong to the United States government. And he's basically just figuratively saying, kiss my fucking ass. I'm not going with you. And, you know, Captain Marvel, he's basically telling Vic that, you know, hey, you don't want to break the law, man. Because Captain Marvel is trying to be such a Boy Scout, but, we all know the government's fucking corrupt and they're a bunch of fucking hypocrites, and if they see something they want, they feel like they should just fucking take it, no questions asked, no ifs, ands, or buts. It's fucking ours and you're not going to do anything about it. That's the way it is. Whether you agree with me or not, I don't care. It's just how I feel, it's the way it is, and I just love Cyborg's reaction. He's just like, I'm not going with you, I don't care. Yeah, and the Justice League is called in. You know, Cyborg tells them some things, shows them some things. But this was a really strong issue. Really well done. Good writing. Good character development. I'm just loving what they're doing right now. It's not the best. It's not the best title on the shelves by far. No, it's not. But I do think it's kind of underrated. I really do. It's kind of like Red Lanterns was. It's like, when I was reviewing Red Lanterns, I hardly could find anybody else that would talk about it. And I really hope that same thing doesn't happen with Cyborg. I really think this is a title that people should be reading. People should be looking at it. People should be giving it a chance. I mean, he was part of the legendary Wolfman Perez lineup with Teen Titans. I mean, this is a character that has deserved, who has earned a shot at a solo run, and I'd like to see more and more people talk about this. This was a good issue. Not perfect, but really good. Give it 3.5. Alright, moving on to Harley Quinn, number 26. Conor Palmiotti. First of all, I want to say I'm glad that everybody who's working on this title right now is going to stick with it once Rebirth happens. And hopefully you will keep this character intact just the way you have her right now. Because you don't need to step backward with it. You don't need to do anything with her. Just keep her going the way you got it, and I'm sold. But this was a good issue. The main thing that happens in here is that we get her new look. They're going to go ahead and match her look in the Suicide Squad movie because, hey, we got a movie to promote, goddammit, so we're going to do it. I get it. It's business 101. You got a movie coming out with a featured character that people have been wanting to see on the big screen for years. You finally get this opportunity. Why not cash in? Why not take advantage of it and make her have a similar look to how she's going to look in the movie theater? It's simple business and it works. I don't really have any complaints about her new look. I like it. It's a little bit of a mix of the old with the new, but keeping her character development intact the way it is now, I still think it's a plus. It's really good. I love the scene in the beach with the guy, checking out her ass and everything. I thought this was really good. I just love this character so much. I'm actually, I hope I don't get too much flack for this, but I'm actually growing more appreciative of this Harley Quinn than I did the previous Harley Quinn. I'm sorry, but I've got to tell the truth. It's how I honestly feel. Because the previous Harley Quinn, I will always have a special place in my heart for classic Harley. But at the end of the day, she was Joker's doormat and Joker's personal punching bag. And here we have a new and improved Harley Quinn who, spoiler alert for those of you who didn't read issue 25, who finally did something I personally have wanted to see her do for years. And she whooped the Joker's ass. And I loved every bit of it. And I just hope they keep it going with this. This is good stuff. Fantastic read. Fantastic character. I love her. Great stuff. This was good. I give it a 3.5. Alright, moving on to Lois and Clark, number 6. Dan Jurgens, god damn, doing such a good job with this character. And I believe in Rebirth, Dan Jurgens is going to be writing Action Comics, I believe. I don't remember 100% for sure. But if he is, bring these characters in there, please. This is good. This is so good. I always get a kick out of seeing Dan Jurgens writing Superman. He's so good at it, and it feels like my Superman. If this was the Superman we could have gotten this Superman in the Dawn of Justice movie, how do you think that would have went over? Yay? Nay? Eh? But yeah, this was good. This was really good. Clark's got his hands full with a new super villain. Believe it. I done forgot his fucking name. But it doesn't really matter because he's not an honest-to-God supervillain. He's just doing it for a reality show and something. Clark doesn't realize that at first. But Lois and Little John, their son, oh shit. Minor spoilers here. The mob, Bruno Mannheim's mob has found out that she is Author X. And, I want to go into detail as to what led to the big moment near the end of the book, but I can't. I think it's something that you need to see for yourself. Really, really good. A big moment in this issue for this particular series. This was amazing. Really good. An easy 4. I gotta stop there because I can't spoil anymore. Let's move on to the pick of the week. Pick of the week. Yeah, you guessed it. Secret 6, number 12. Gail Simone, Dale Eagle's hand. Oh, shit. Gail even told me that she knew I was going to love this book. And Gail, you were right. This was good. This was fantastic. Now, I'll be honest, this was not the best issue of Secret 6 I've ever read in my life, no, but this was really good. Once again, shining that moment, that talent that Gail has when she's writing a team book like this, when she's writing multiple characters at once. She has a way when she does this writing. She has a way to make you give a damn about every character you read. And this is really good. It was good to see Scandal and her 2 wives at the beginning of the book. And then you got the stuff with Lady Shiva and Batgirl and Strix and Catman. oh my God. And to see what Lady Shiva does and what she tells them, and to see what Strix does in here, it's just really good. Really, really good stuff. But then it all culminates with that big, humongous reveal on the last page. Holy mother of God, this was fantastic. Really solid work. The artwork was fantastic. The writing was great. The character development was spot on. The pacing was good. Everything about this particular issue worked for me. Really, really good. Gail, if you're watching this, thank you. This was great. You were right. You knew we would love this. It's a fantastic book. This easily gets a 4, maybe even a 4.5. An awesome book. We're going to end it with Wonder Woman number 50. This is not a $6 book, but it is a $5 book, and of course DC has to put on the price tag because it's 50 issues. Ugh. I liked this issue. I really did. My big problem with this issue is that you're selling a big oversized book. This is a large book, and it's a long book. You know, one would think you're going to wrap up this storyline involving the sick infant storyline and use an opportunity to take a big book like this and wrap that stuff up. But instead, you give us a cliffhanger and then you take us into a second story involving Donna Troy. Whatever. I guess you're going to wait until issue 52 to wrap everything up right before you do Rebirth. That's fine. Yeah, I get it. You want to stretch this out as long as you can so that way you can get it wrapped up and get everything settled once you get to Rebirth. Okay? For that, I get it. But, you know, like I said, great writing, good artwork. I like where they're going with this. Still up in the air as to where they can go with this once the storyline gets wrapped up. But the Donna Troy story was fantastic. I really did like the Donna Troy stuff. Now she is Fate. She has taken over as Fate. And, you know, she's able to see briefly into people's futures. And there was her story in here was just amazing. You know, she sees with her new power, she's able to see into the future of this young man, and she sees like 2 different outcomes because he's in trouble, he's in grave danger, and she's like, if I save him, then this will happen, which is not exactly that good. You know, it's like, do you be a hero or do you prevent a tragedy? You know, it's one of those things where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And you just got to trust your good judgment and everything. And the way things unroll after she made her decision, the way things unravel as storyline keeps coming along. And it's just, wow. I mean, there's a silver lining in every dark cloud. That's, you know, what some people say. And that was pretty much the gist of the Donna Troy story. I mean, every action you make has consequences, even if it's for noble purpose. Every choice you make, there's always going to be that either that particular consequence of that action or the overlooming threat of a consequence. You know, you never know what the future holds for you based on the decisions you make in your life. Even when you actually can see the outcomes, you want to believe that some things can change and some things can be, you know, some fates can be cheated and some things can be turned out for the better, even if they might not always can be. I mean, this is really good stuff. A solid issue. I think this is actually well worth $5. I mean, it didn't wrap everything up with Wonder Woman, but what they did tell us and the stuff with Donna Troy, I think it's well worth your time and I think it's well worth your money. I mean, this was really good. An easy 4 for me. Alright, that's all I got for this review, everybody. I want to thank y'all for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done it already. Check out Blugoblin X, Arkham Asylum Studio. We just got a couple of videos on the way over there. Look for my Batman vs. Superman movie review. Look for me on Twitter at Blugoblin01. You can look for me blugoblin.tumblr.com. You can find me on Pinterest or Facebook or stick with me here on YouTube. Y'all know about my shoutouts in the description below. Thanks for watching, everybody. I am Groot. And I'll see y'all later.